Dan Orlovsky, former NFL quarterback, on the Myles Garrett trade request. This from ESPN's Unsportsmanlike.
Which piece of news intrigues you more from yesterday, Myles Garrett or Cooper Kupp?
Oh, the Myles Garrett one. And I love Cooper. I still think Cooper can play. Myles Garrett doesn't come around. I mean, this is a guy that if you have a pulse at quarterback, you automatically are in Super Bowl conversation. Guys like Myles Garrett do not, and I don't know how available he is and all that, but they don't become available. Could you imagine if J.J. Watt became available in the middle of his career, or Aaron Donald became available in the middle of his career? Could you imagine how many sacks Myles Garrett would get if his team wasn't always down 14-0 and his team was up? I mean, this guy is a remarkable player that automatically vaults you into the we are legit Super Bowl contenders if you are a team that has a decent quarterback player at decent quarterback play. So, I mean, I said this back in January or the beginning of January. The Vikings, where are they with the quarterback situation? If the Vikings are a team, there's like, wait, we want Sam Darnold. We actually do want to re-sign Sam Darnold. And now we can dangle J.J. McCarthy for Myles Garrett. No-brainer.
No-brainer for both teams.
No-brainer. Exactly. And that little bit with Chicago's or Cleveland's perspective is how much do they like the quarterbacks in this draft? Could you imagine Washington? If Washington got Myles Garrett, thank you. So the Myles Garrett one is way more appealing.
So, Fred, we've talked about this a little bit. And the only way you're going to get Garrett to be willing to stay, you're going to have to redo the contract, make him the highest paid player in the league defensively or thereabouts. And you've got to show him that this roster can win. You've got to find a quarterback that he sees a potential to win. Does Andrew Berry have enough flexibility because of the Deshaun Watson contract and all that's going on? Does he have enough flexibility to remake the roster to a level that would convince Myles Garrett they can be successful? My guess is no. That's why he requested the trade.
Well, he thinks they're closer to the 3-14 than the 11-6 that he talked about wanting to stay last year. But I guess the thing is, I do think with the way they structure contracts, they can do a lot. I mean, one of our Jack Duffin, you've had him on, he says they can restructure and free up as much as $89 million, So as long as Jimmy Haslam's willing to pay the cash, and I'm sure he is now with all the pressure, I think I'm not worried about that. A Cooper Kupp is in their wheelhouse, those are the Amari Cooper, the Jerry Jeudy that you pick up for very little, and all you have to do is be willing to pay them. I'm not saying that's who they're going to go after, but a trade and restructuring and so forth is what they do. So they just have to be able to do it where it affects them the most. Now, Myles Garrett could be your biggest chance to get the quarterback, but that hurts you in the other side of it. So you could look at it this way. They were 3-14 with Myles. If you traded and you were able to, I've been saying this all along, you need to have a franchise quarterback. That's why they did what they did. They thought they were getting it solved with Deshaun Watson. It's blown up in their face, but they have to be aggressive and turn over every stone. J.J. McCarthy or Sam Darnold, one of those, if there's a way you can swing and get somebody like that. The thing about McCarthy, that's like drafting him because he's on a rookie contract. I don't know what they think of him. I don't know if he's the answer, but you have to come out solving your biggest problem, because if you just trade Garrett and you get draft picks, you don't have anything to replace still at quarterback, and you still don't. Now you have to replace your best player on the defensive line. So there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. I think you got to get the quarterback, and you got to get that as your top priority. I mean, obviously, he's not happy with the situation where it is now, but you just have to, I think, right the ship. I felt like the defense was the quickest way to be fixed. Get some more pieces there, get back to being a top 10 defense, and then your offense, adequate quarterback play, whether it's Kirk Cousins or whoever it might be, I think you can win a lot of games and get back to playoffs. I don't know if you're ready for the Super Bowl, but until you get that quarterback. And that's where I'm saying if you really think Cam Ward is your answer and the Titans think they're going to take him, well, you trade Garrett to get up to number one and you take Cam Ward and then you take Abdul Carter or something like that. Or opposite, if it's Shador Sanders, do it with the Giants. But you have to come out like the Texans actually did with some of the assets they got from the Browns in the Watson trade. They came out with C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson, your cornerstone on both sides of the ball. If you choose to move on from Garrett, and this is your chance to go younger all the way around, you got to come out solving those two problems.
Yeah, and you're not going to have a lot of opportunities. So yeah, but you got to be right. The problem is they haven't been right. And that adds even another level of pressure, and that might be by design by Myles Garrett. He's added more pressure. You better get this right, because if you're not, your cornerstone defensive end doesn't want to be here.